Imagine cruising. More than just a cruise. Visit imaginecruising.co.uk now to find your dream holiday.
Hi, welcome to A Week in Walford, the EastEnders review show presented by two people who still want to know what Kat's favourite Patrick Swayze movie is. Roadhouse?
To Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
I'm David Brown.
And I'm Johnathon Hughes.
This week's headlines. What's it all about, Alfie?
Denise and Kush, what next?
And Batman gets his Robin. Okay, well, first up we had Alfie faking his own death and Stacey saying that this couldn't be done.
It's impossible to fake your own death, says Stacey to the woman who faked her own death last year.
Yes.
Kat did it a year ago.
Yeah, they seem to have forgotten about that completely,
Yes.
didn't they? Why didn't Kat say, oh, you know, I was doing that not 12 months back?
Yeah, never worked for me, you're right, Stace.
Yeah.
But it's happened, it can work.
It can work because when we had Kathy having faked her own death,
Yes.
it only didn't work because she chose to come back.
Yes,
She'd
and
still be thought of as dead now if
she would
hadn't
be.
opted to return to the square.
Exactly that, because EastEnders needed a big surprise for a live episode, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
For that reason, she returned. So yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
As you say. So, but maybe that's Kathy's not. She's on holiday or something, isn't she, at the moment?
Yeah.
So it's probably that's why they had to get that line in case Kathy would be like, "Here, what are you on about?
Yeah, she stuck her head round the door.
Yeah. Just saying. I was dead for 10 years.
Yeah,
And off she goes. Yeah. So it can work. So I don't know. What does that mean for Alfie? Never see him again, or he'll be back at EastEnders' 50th anniversary.
As for whether things work or not, we'll have to see now whether Alfie's scheme works, because I wasn't really quite sure whether all this added up. So Alfie faked his own death.
Yeah.
He left Kat with the £50,000,
Yeah.
which is Phil's money,
Yeah.
which Phil is now threatening Kat that if she
yes.
doesn't pay back, he'll do horrible things to her.
Yeah.
So surely that money is now just going to have to go back to Phil.
Yeah, thanks, Alfie. You've sort of put Kat in danger from the most scary man in Walford.
Yeah.
I think so, unless Kat keeps the money. Will she do that knowing that Phil is kind of out for blood and he is smelling a rat on this fake death scheme, isn't he?
I suppose so. I mean, the official verdict from the police is that he seems to have kind of
That's it.
taken his own life.
Apparently so.
So perhaps Kat will keep the cash, but
Well, I don't know. I think, Kat knows that Alfie isn't dead because she got a text saying, keep the faith, be back soon. However, how do we know that was from Alfie? Because...
it didn't say Alfie because she deleted the contact details.
Yeah,
hadn't she?
and he'd obviously got a new burner phone on his life on the run, fugitive style. I don't think it was Alfie. Do you know what I think it was?
Go on.
Sean Slater. Because Sean's coming back. And we don't know why quite yet. And
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith, yeah. I've been waiting 10 years. Or it could be Lola. She's
Yeah,
coming back to
Ben
EastEnders.
Mitchell.
Lofty.
Yeah. Mary the Punk.
It's Mary the Punk coming back for Dr. Leg's funeral.
Also, can I just say, why didn't Kat look in that wardrobe before that point? She said...
Yeah, she searched the house top to bottom.
turned it upside down. When as soon as she opened that wardrobe, all the money tumbled out.
It's like a decent proposal and all that cash.
Yeah.
I mean, never play hide and seek with Kat because it would be really boring.
Yeah, because she'd be so not up to the task.
Coming ready or not?
Yeah.
No wonder those kids are so bored. Yes. Should we play hide and seek with Mum?
Yes. Well, from one couple rent asunder due to circumstances, we have another. Denise and Kush broke up. For me, this kind of smacked of a new producer coming in and saying we don't want these two together anymore. Let's find, just a basic reason for them to not be together.
I've got plans for these characters. It doesn't involve them being a couple. That was it.
And then they kind of dispensed of that relationship in the space of one scene.
They did, quite easily, so onwards and upwards.
Yeah.
What do you think the plans could be, though, for Denise and Kush? Both still popular characters. I mean, what do you reckon? Where does it leave them?
It was interesting with Denise because she got made redundant in the same week. And again, a little bit of character amnesia here because a couple of years ago, of course, Denise was she was scrambling around for food.
Destitute, yeah, she was poverty-stricken, wasn't she? Because she lost her job and then she was on a spiral into poverty because she lost her job, but she didn't seem that bothered she'd lost her job, considering what happened to her before.
Filled with fear that history was about to repeat itself.
She'd be down that food bank with Cora.
Yeah, I know, but there was not barely a mention of that. I mean, the thing with Denise, though, is that I don't know what's next for her in terms of relationships. Perhaps there is still a bit of a link with Phil, maybe?
Oh, of course, they've got that kid.
Yeah.
And they never really fully explored what I thought was a really interesting partnership. And then, now you've got the fact that Phil delivered her sister Kim's baby at Christmas.
Yes, that's the new love triangle.
That is the love triangle we all want.
Phil
and the Foxes.
Phil and the Foxes, yeah. And
Phil's
then,
foxy love triangle.
I didn't know what you were going to say then.
Yeah, Phil's having a foxy time.
Stop it. We're going to get bleeped in a minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, that's what I think could happen to Denise.
Yeah.
But Kush
Kush has now got no family in the show.
he's a little bit rudderless, isn't he?
It's true.
But what we know about Kush is that he has had a bit of a shady past, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was a bit of a player.
So perhaps, I mean, he had a one-night stand even like last year, didn't he, with someone he went home with from a do.
Yes, he
But
did.
perhaps one of these one-night stands resulted in a love child, and an illegitimate
Baby
offspring
Kush.
of Kush could turn up. Mini muscles.
Minnie Muscles. A baby with massive guns is going to turn up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hello, Daddy. Yes, I think that's good. I think Kush has got a real edge to him, I think, if you dig deep, because he's been through so much tragedy. He's lost
Yeah.
a child, he's lost his brother, he's lost a
Magnet.
wife. He's basically the Grim Reaper. So I would like Kush to kind of, go off the rails a bit. And wasn't he a bouncer for 5 minutes at the E20 Club?
Oh, yeah.
So what about Kush and Mel in like a bad romance?
But then Kush kind of maybe gets like anger issues when he's
Yes.
working at the club and takes it all a little bit.
yeah,
he
yeah,
goes
yeah.
a bit too heavy-handed
And
with
does,
the punters.
does Hunter reach for the ashtray?
Oh no!
Maybe don't go out with Mel. Sorry, scrap that.
Yeah.
He'll end up in the woods.
Two death magnets together.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, bad idea, bad idea. But we look forward to whatever Denise and Kush do, very much apart, because
Yes.
the message is they're not together anymore.
But two people who do seem to be getting closer, not in that sense, but have formed a little bit of a bond this week, is Stuart and Menace. His little
Menace.
nickname for Dennis.
All right, Menace.
They've become real allies, haven't they?
I love
and I'm
it.
loving it.
I'm loving it, and we said previously on this very show that Stuart is kind of like a bit of a Batman figure, because he's got this
Yeah.
vigilante age. Like, he came in as this paedophile hunter, and this week he's been trying to right the wrongs of the horrible racist vandals who targeted Dr. Legg. And do you remember last week when he put the apron on and the marigolds? He looked like he was putting the Batman
It was
suit
his
on.
Batcave moment, wasn't
His
it?
Batcave moment. So he's the vigilante, he's the scrubber, because he was
Yes.
washing up really furiously. And Dennis is his boy wonder, his Robin.
Yes, he definitely is.
So I think the scrubber and Menace teaming up with a drone in hand.
If the drone could be like their surveillance gadget, couldn't it? They could scout out where crimes are being committed.
That's how they know.
They could swing into action. So I'm
The dynamic duo.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Stuart and Menace. The problem being, though, that despite these attempts to rehabilitate Stuart,
Yeah.
sorry.
We've got Kush on the brain because he's single. He's available.
Stuart, there is the problem of Tina.
This is what I was thinking this week. They've done a good job with Dot being the key to forgiving Stuart. If Dot can forgive Stuart, then I think
Yeah.
the rest of the community will follow. But what he did to Tina was pretty unforgivable. And so how do you get around that? I'm interested to see how they tackle that, because Stuart started to be he was honest with Dot, and he said, yes, I was going to take you for a ride, but you have shown me this incredible kindness that's actually made me change my ways. So how can forgiveness happen with Tina? I'm not sure if it can.
It was such an egregious thing to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot to kind of overcome, isn't it?
Yeah,
Definitely.
but interesting to watch.
Well, join us in 7 days' time to find out whether Tina has become Harley Quinn to Stuart's Batman. We'll be back with another week in Walford.
Escape the drama with Imagine Cruising. Visit imaginecruising.co.uk now to find your dream holiday.